isn't important to me. The idea of passing is a bit discriminative for me. I believe that I know who I am and I don't need to be defined by others. I am who I am regardless of whatever passing is important.
I agree. I think for me too, I don't like the term passing. I think it kind of construes this idea that cis heteronormativity is the ideal standard. Like, I'm not cis, I don't want to be cis. I'm comfortable with identifying as a trans person. And I don't think cis heteronormativity is the mecca. Actually, it's probably a little bit boring. Like, I think diversity is important and we should really be able to affirm and celebrate our identities as trans people without trying to pass, because like, I don't like the term, I really don't.
I'll say somewhat, this is important.
I hate the word. I hate the word passing. I hate the term and everything that it comes with, because I think when we say passing, it kind of puts us in a box, and then it limits or tries to define what we or what other people think of how we should be.
Yeah.
And I think it like limits my womanness and who I am as a person and as a woman of trans experience. And I just think the term in itself puts so much pressure on like trans people to look and act and be a certain way, and I think that just feeds into a whole lot of stereotypes that we don't need.
Once upon a time, it was important to me, and I'll tell you why. Coming out, when you heard that you know your past, and the first time you got all grades and your friends tell you, or your social group would say that you passed, you felt validated. But then you grow, and then you realize that, okay, if you are being validated as just by passing, you're not really celebrating diversity, and that's not what I want to do at this point. So now I'm a bit disgusted by the word, but back then, child was everything to me. Why is it important to you?
Well, for me, passing is very important because most of my friends that I socialize with or stuff don't like, if you want to be a part, like you want to be a cis woman like them, you have to play the parts and have the looks. So it's like, have to struggle, like, you have to cancel the wax and all those stuff, and it's like we cannot really keep up with the whole thing, the waxing thing and the shaving and stuff, but it's like you have to groove yourself to be a cis woman like them. But I think there's a trans woman and like, they must say, well, trans woman and cis woman basically can be the same thing, but I have to play that part. As I said, passing is a really important thing for me.
I think when we're talking about passing, I think it's important to talk about just different ways in which sometimes trans and masculine people feel pressure to look a particular way. You know, I think for trans men, there's a pressure to medically transition and like have a beard. There's a pressure to like bind for people who haven't had top surgery, and I think it plays a lot into part of it. Of course, is comfort and trying to be comfortable with your body and like to find a space to express yourself, and also to navigate public spaces safely, because part of the pressure to pass is because the idea that trans people don't have the space to like be themselves and to take like public transportation, it can expose people to violence, right? But beyond that too is the challenge and the pressure to have a beard, have a deep voice, and it don't really allow for people to see that there are diverse ways for trans people to be themselves. Like for me, I don't think my voice is deep. I don't try to deep my voice, but I do also know that I have certain privilege of being on hormones and also having had top surgery. But I think it's still important to show that there are many different ways that you can look and the way that you can represent yourself.
Well, that's a fact, and I think it's not really the person or the trans person themselves who's going through the trans experience. It's really the outside pressure, it's really the peer pressure. So sometimes within ourselves, you don't sound rough enough, or you don't look rough enough, or your pants not loose enough, or if my pants is tight, is it going to show that I'm not cis? So I guess there are so many factors weighing into the passing that sometimes it may weigh heavy on a person's mental capacity. So I really don't know where we're going with the passing.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is that toxic masculinity plays a huge role. So they're just like what you said about people, yes, the ideal man, right? And I think if more trans masculine people really just embrace aspects of their, whether it's their
Uniqueness and
their
their
uniqueness,
difference.
right? Exactly. So even like trans masculine people, their feminine traits have feminine traits as well, and that should be okay. But I think sometimes just because of the pressure that society places on us, we try to, you know, look a particular way or behave a particular way that doesn't really honor how authentic we are as people.